All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. So, I want to cover some stuff going on with the overall market because literally in the last couple of days we've seen everything fucking nuke to oblivion. Excuse my language, but absolutely, literally everything took a disgusting hit. I've never seen sentiment as horrible as it was yesterday than I think I've ever seen in history. I can't even lie. Like, this cycle is definitely not something I've ever experienced, and it is just, this market is absolutely brutal sometimes. So, let's get into it here. So, first off, is we had the FOMC meeting today, which, it seems like our friend Bitcoin here is taking a liking to it. I had some random bot account. Shout out to Market Patrica. Just found this literally like a minute ago, or a couple minutes ago. FOMC has decided to keep policy interest rates unchanged. I'm not even gonna cover like too much. Bottom line, it came out okay. Came out for what it was, and I mean the market's not nuking, holding up pretty well. Bitcoin is actually not looking horrible. It did, but obviously this wasn't even from it. This was like a couple days ago, just straight manipulation, just boom. And it's having a nice pump again. But I can't lie, the chart actually looks pretty good. And it's actually something that's funny though, is I've seen so many people bring it up now. Um, it's actually I want to pull up Ansem on Twitter if you guys are familiar. If I can type his name. So we got Black Noise 06. He has been dropping fractals. I think he dropped it earlier today. Where was it? Dropping a fractal of what Bitcoin looked like right here. He's been dropping some very bearish hints, guys. Where this was basically the 2021 top, and then same thing, March into April, absolute nuke. And then the end of the year, we kind of rally, and then alts really kind of rally at the end of the year. Things like this, guys, it's like I can't even lie. It's hard to know what the hell will be happening in this market, but I think in the short term for a fractal like that, like I said, it's hard to know, but I think for right now, Bitcoin still does look good. Right now, the biggest thing that Bitcoin needs to do is break well over this previous high. I'm not talking about a little, this dinky fucking, it taps it. You get a huge wick, bounces again. Like, nah, this needs to just, kind of bounce, do whatever. Maybe it just continues to form bullish momentum. Keep that kind of momentum just steady. But when it breaks, this thing needs to just have a clean break. I think if it does that, it was a nice push and just continues, I think that's going to be very bullish for the market. There's just a lot of doom posting I've seen lately. And I was bearish when we were looking here, down here, when things were just not looking good. But, I try to keep a very open mind for both directions in this market. It's hard. It's basically Bitcoin is just ranging right now, which is exactly what it did back over here. So I'm not trying to completely disqualify what he's saying, but at the same time, you can't, you just gotta let price action play out as well. But basically, this would be where Bitcoin is right now. Why don't we overlap this chart? We'll take it from there, and then it's having its third attempt up, right? I'm pretty sure it's like very similar. Oh, okay, so no, it's not fully similar, but somewhat. Because it was basically this move here, but then this is here, but then this one is missing. Anyways, Bitcoin's been doing its thing. We're going to let it run. Let's see if this thing can actually rally. Probably will bounce again and have a nice, huge push. If we can go well above 110, I think we're in the clear to go to at least 114, 115. you know. But for me, guys, it's like I'm already very much so questioning part of this cycle already. You know, it's like my initial targets when we were down here was around 120K. My literal targets to be looking to literally be out of the market was in between 80K to 120K. You know, obviously we're sitting in that. That could be incredibly low for a lot of people, but you know, it's like I think if we push up and have a nice run in a rally, we really need to start paying attention and thinking, okay, is this going to be a short-term local top? You know, that is when I'd really start to question what is going to happen. So I'm just trying to keep it very, you know, cookie cutter honest right here. If we do see a huge push up, we got to be cautious of what's going to happen literally in the next month, in February into March, because we've just seen, you know, just through last year, you know, it just, we had sideways action the whole time. But in the previous bull cycle, you know, we're in that area where Bitcoin just full sended for a while too, you know. And I would hope that ETH does eventually catch up, because ETH was holding well until it, you know, dumped the other day, also well down here, but it's holding back up yet again. And I'm still waiting for ETH, you know, kind of bounce back up and just have a clean break to the upside too. Like, at least for ETH, guys, you cannot tell me and look at ETH and you can't tell me that it's not going to pump at some point this year. It is just, this is like the most primed chart I've ever seen. It just looks insane. Like, I mean, it's like a literal parabola's been forming for what, half a decade? You know, I don't know. To me, it just looks too clean. So either way, and that's from a very high time frame though. Keep that in mind. You know, so this is not gonna just gig ascend in a week off this. Like, this is gonna take months. But we even saw virtual, guys. So I am obviously been a huge advocate for virtual and the whole ecosystem, and obviously meme coins, guys. These have taken a brutal hit. You know, this is why in almost every single video that I made, I've always was telling you guys, you know, be very cautious and careful, because when these things do decide to reverse, they will reverse. You know, I'm not trying to say, oh, like, don't buy things, don't do anything. Like, no, because it's like, bro, I'm holding a lot of different coins as well. And same thing, I'm getting attacked here. You know, a lot of these coins are down significantly bad. You know, from where I've entered, even from where I've been holding for a while, you know, so most of them are underwater. You know, a lot of them obviously were in profits, but you know, overall, it's like when these dips happen, guys, sometimes they just do not stop dipping. It's nuts. But I think virtual here and the whole ecosystem has definitely found some sort of bottom. Because I think that DeepSeek news was kind of like a black swan for AI based, you know, anything in crypto right now. You know, but I don't know. To me, I think if this kind of breaks here, I really would question, you know, what the whole ecosystem has left for it going forward. I think it still has a lot of juice in the tank going forward, especially with you know, they just integrated on top of Solana now too. So they are on both Solana and Base right now. Which I think, you know, I think for them to do that, I don't know if that was the best move. I think they probably should have stayed on Base, because I think virtual alone was the reason why Base was actually getting so much volume. But, you know, now they basically catered to where all the degens are still playing, you know. So they kind of took that edge away from themselves, and then also to the existing projects that are only on Base right now. You know, that's kind of a hit to them, because now, you know, most people now see that virtual is still now going to be on Sol. You can launch agents on Sol now. You know, there's going to be no reason for them to want to now bridge to Base when they can do everything on Solana, you know. And I think the way Base chain trades is so different than Sol. Way more PvE, meaning, you know, if when you buy something, you know, you don't have to worry about it rugging overnight, or dumping 80% in a matter of 6 minutes after you buy it, like Solana. But it's like even AIXBT, this has had one of the most bullish charts, as in just consistent higher highs, higher lows for what, like literally 2 months. Even this went all the way back down to its, this previous lower high or lower higher low. Oh my god, excuse me. But I think here this is definitely a discount entry. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I don't know why I have those colors set up, but yeah, this looks very good to be honest. But it's like yeah, we've seen just so many of these take a hit. Like even Vader, guys. Vader is nuking. Like it's absolutely crazy. It just it's like a lot of these. It's like I have conviction in so many of these, but it's just when you're dealing with a new hype narrative. I don't care what it is at this point. It's like we gotta just be careful, way more careful at this point in trying to hold things. Because it's like I believe in a lot of these new projects and what they're building, but it seems like just having that mentality to hold anything anymore just doesn't work. It doesn't work in many cases, especially with jumping from, new hype narrative to hype narrative. Because when things have that hype for a while, they maintain their bullishness. But once that bullishness cools off like we're seeing, they just take a major hit, especially if they're lower cap. So even game guys, this is one of the most bullish virtual ecosystem coins that I personally have found. And look at this correction. And I've been waiting for a correction too, but I assume the bottom would be, where it wicked before it bounced. This is when the classic case of the dip keeps dipping. And at this point, this is something you just have to prepare for when you're waiting for corrections. Just let the capitulation happen. And once it finally shows some sort of signs where it's bottoming out, that's where you get in for a potential another leg up, So I think a lot of these coins are at a huge discount, at least within the virtuals eco. So, it's like I try my best, guys, giving you guys alpha. And it's like, even for me, it's like sometimes I hold coins too long and it's like everything just goes completely against me. It's, it's tough, but it is what it is. It's like this market, half the time you can't predict an AI black swan like 3 days ago either, right? Or actually even yesterday too, just with the market. But we also had ARK too, which ARK is doing very well. Obviously, this is at a huge dump too. This literally went from 600 million to 260 million in a matter of what, like 4 days, 5 days? Like absolutely insane. We hit an all-time high and like 3 days later, it's all the way down here. But I still think ARK is one of the most bullish projects on Solana. This is AI rig complex. But in my opinion, I think, I still think this has, a minimum of one more leg up to go. Give me 1 second here. My bad, guys. Had a long day, but ARK looks very good. It's definitely in it came into a very strong discount zone as far as for any sort of entry. Had a really nice bounce here, which is always very good to see. So I assume we may continue to see some chop, but I do think ARK easily is going to run back into a new high from here. It may take a little while, but I firmly believe in this project and what they're doing. I think they just really need to start fully delivering and delivering fairly quick, But that's it. But guys, meme coins too, literally, Oro's one of my favorite meme coins on Sol. And this has had one of the worst charts I think I've ever seen in history. Incredible work by the paper hands on this thing. Absolutely incredible work, I have to say. Because it's like even coins that I'm not holding that I still am a huge advocate for, like pups. Look how down bad these coins are. That is absolutely insane. SPX is actually holding at another all-time high. That is insane. It's like even Mog, guys. Mog to me is still one of the number one meme coins in the entire space. I know a lot of people have been worried. I saw the timeline crashing out about Mog literally yesterday too. But guys, to me, I don't see any reason why Mog is not going to be a clear winner going forward. I have total conviction in this coin. I don't care. This is still the strongest ETH beta play. And again, another thing people don't think about. If we're going to see an alt season, what has to happen? ETH needs to pump like crazy. And what happens when ETH literally doubles or triples? Which I'm not saying it's going to triple, but what if ETH has a huge pump? What happens to the meme coins on ETH? What happens to utility coins on ETH? Even if they are down pretty hard, they will pump like crazy. But look at ETH. It is primed to start moving. It's like, imagine when ETH just finally has that God candle and breaks into 5K, breaks its previous all-time high too. It's like, what do you think Mog is going to do? What do you think Pepe is going to do? Look at Pepe. Pepe had a huge dump too for, where it's sitting. It literally came all the way down to where it was like before. If Pepe, I'd say if it breaks this though, which I don't think it's going to, but if it came all the way down here and broke this, I'd really question this. Probably the bull run. I mean, if Pepe itself couldn't hold, support down here, I'd really question that. Even Doge. I mean, actually, Doge is still holding up. That didn't even dip that hard. That's insane. But, like I said, I just have a ton of meme coins that have turbo dumped. Even Kobe. I'm a huge advocate of Kobe, Kobe's just been down only since I've been talking about it, guys. It's like I try my best with a lot of these coins, but it's like sometimes, guys, this shit just, I don't know. It's very hard to know what the hell this market can do, because it's like, I could be showing you guys like one coin, for a year straight and just continue to buy like a high cap, but it's like I'm trying to find different opportunities as often as I can in the market for everyone. But I don't know. MLG has been one of the only meme coins too that's been really holding up. This one I've actually been waiting to see if it can dip again. I did not expect it to really have another pump though. Cause it didn't even hit the. Excuse me. Cause this didn't even come back down. Cause I was waiting for this capitulation. Once I saw this, the pump all the way back up again. That's kind of when I set my support and a potential entry here, but this didn't really hit anything, so. But MLG's looking very good. This thing is, this will be a massive call long term. I think, if as long as people are, continue to hold this, grind this out, I think MLG has a huge road ahead of it still. I would not say to top blast and buy the top of something, but MLG I think has a lot of potential going forward, even at 120 million right now. Which currently, from the initial call we had in Discord on MLG, this is around 4 million. So this was really good. This was like, I think, I don't know if it was end of November. So it's like, guys, there's good calls and bad calls, Well, the thing with me too is it's like eventually, I would hope that the good calls can overturn a lot of the bad, which they have, over time, like crazy. We've made some really good gains, but of course, we still take losses too. It's like no one's perfect in this market. I know I'm not. It's like, and I'm one to just have that shiny object syndrome, especially with like certain narratives. There's a lot of coins that I always find really interesting, but like I said, it's always hard to know what's gonna happen, but MLG could actually pull what Mog did. I'm not kidding. I think it probably is gonna continue to do so. But I mean, for this to actually be, once it hits 400 million, that will be a 100x from the call for anyone that just held from there for a couple months. If that happens, that'll be nuts. That'll be another 100x call for the group, which would be huge. But like I said, we take many losses too. Like I said, like Aura. I'm down horrendous on Aura. This is literally my favorite meme, one of my favorite newer meme coins. Worst price action I've ever seen. Same thing with NKI, another AI coin. I had such conviction in that. That thing just died out. It's like that is just part of this game, guys. But outside of that, I just kind of wanted to cover a bunch of projects and coins. Just go over the market, guys, and kind of just, you know, talk about a bunch of random stuff. So that is what I've been paying attention to, watching in the market and focusing on. I'm when I release this video right now, I will have posted yesterday a video talking about Bittensor and Dynamic Tau. I think you guys should 100% check that out. I think that is going to be a massive catalyst for Bittensor itself. Because lately I've been getting a lot more bullish on Bittensor. And I think it's actually going to spark a lot more liquidity to potentially flow into the ecosystem. But the video I talk about, I'm covering a lot of information you probably should know well in advance before it goes live in mid-February. So you guys can check that video out at the top. But outside of that, I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, Bitcoin at 105 keeps cranking. Let's go. So let's see if this can actually break and kind of hold up here or something in the next few days, the next week. But like I was saying, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.